ribbon burner I'm making. And it's just a design I came up with. I followed a couple things, but I'm doing stuff my own way. And you can look in there, you can see got some baffles set up, or a baffle or a gas separator. But what I'm going to do is I'm cutting this off, and yeah, I'm using a hacksaw because sometimes you don't have to use power tools, and it's a little late, so hacksaw is quieter than a die grinder, right? So cutting with that, and I'm not really going to film me cutting because it's going to take a while, because I'm going to cut this end off. I'll probably cut it down to here and then come out and then cut down so it's flat. And I'll explain why I'm doing that later once I get this cut off, because I got some crazy ideas for my inserts. And that'll be key, so look forward to that. Well, there you go. 18 minutes. All right, cut that off. So I got this piece right here, right? And I did a pretty good job at cutting that. Nice and straight. What do you think? So what I'll do is I'll drill and tap holes, probably 6 or 4, and get some gasket material for fireplaces, something high temp. Well, I mean, the burner really didn't get to a high temperature, but I need a seal there because there's going to be gas. So, yeah, that's all for tonight. Well, hey everybody. So, I'm going to talk about how I'm going to do my ribbon burner. And so here's the burner. It's at a 1/4 inch steel, or 8 inch steel. I don't know, something. Let me find out. Yeah, that's a 1/8 inch plate. Pretty sure, whatever. So, got this end cut out, and you saw me start cutting it, and now. So the reason why I did this notch is on my last forge, my ribbon burner, the cement that I had, used refractory cement. It was good, and it lasted for like a year or two, and I wanted something that's going to last a little bit longer, right? So let's see, get some of this stuff. Nah, that's probably, there we go. A couple of these, right? So got the ribbon burner, and I'm just going to draw this end, right? And here's the piece I cut off. Okay, what I'm going to do is, if you look at the bottom of this, I've got a lip. If you look up in there, you can see that lip, and there's a channel cut. So what I'm going to do is, here's that channel that's cut. All right, so this is all the steel that I got on there, okay? I left this piece on that side, on the top, because it's gonna seal in the stuff. So this is the view looking up in there, right? So here's all the holes that you saw earlier on the diffuser. Well, like from the side view, and I'm no architect, okay? I'm not some super fancy planer dude, but that's all right. Okay, so here's the side view, and this is all open. So like what, 3D stuff? Try to make this 3D. I don't know if it's gonna work. Yeah, something like that, right? So here's the opening over here. What I'm going to do is I've got some high temperature industrial grade ceramic, and this stuff fires at high temperature, and what it does is it makes a pure white, really hard and pure part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some measurements of this opening, right? Get this, and then get a measurement from here to here, right? Subtract the thickness of the steel, and then probably 1/16 of an inch on each side for a good measure, right? So we got 1/16 over here. So what I want to do is get that ceramic, and I'll do a side view first. Make a burner, right? Like an insert. And that way I can play around with different hole patterns, okay? So we've got this here, right? So I'm gonna make this. This is a side view. This is the side. Side, right? So let's look at it from the top, okay? And I know this is probably boring, but I've been watching like this old Tony and A-Bomb and all those people that do a lot of this stuff. I see him measure and measure and measure and measure and measure, and then make these cuts, and you know, it comes out perfect. Well, I've never done that. Well, whatever. So here's this top part, right? And we've got to figure in, like right here is where it's going to be coming out of here, right? So it's going to be sitting down about an inch, maybe an inch, 3/4 of an inch. So like 3/4, right? So I need to come off maybe a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch off of this. So like 1/4 inch, let's call that, yeah, 1/4 inch. So then we have this. On the sides, this, I'll have to do a bottom view for you to see what's going to go on with this. But we're going to have our you know, this is going to be 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit more than a 1/4 inch. So from that top, so then what I can do is, you know, get me some kind of tool, a poker, something, and then make my holes, and I can, you know, do 3, 2. This is what I had on my last one. And I used straws, but this time I'm going to go with some smaller holes, right? So you could do that, or I've had ideas of like a side view of this, right? So if you're looking in the part, if you're looking in the insert, right? Most of the time holes, you know, you're going to put them in there up and down. That's give you here. Well, I was thinking, you know, what if I made some that we're going like this, so I can have like a total spread pattern for like heating up big stuff, because I want to get into doing big pieces of steel in this thing, or, you know, of the inverse of that, you know, have some holes come down at an angle, so hopefully we get a point to that flame, right? So like a rosebud tip versus like a cutting torch tip. And with this stuff costing $15 a brick of this, and I talked to a pottery place, and they told me that they'd sit there and they could get I could bring in my stuff just as long as, you know, there's no cavities or anything like that, and it's ready for firing. So what I'm gonna do is, you know, go up there and bring like 8 or 10 of these and see how much. I mean, even I don't care what it costs. It's not going to be that much. So here's the bottom, and I can't write upside down, but so bottom view. And maybe you guys can't see this stuff, but you'll get the understanding. Maybe I should be zooming in. I can't do that on my phone. So the bottom's going to have an insert cut like this. And that'll, the distance here, so a side view, let's do a side view down here. I'm exaggerating the size of this just for demonstration purposes. So here's the top, here's the bottom. So that insert, this part will fit. Put it in there, clink, and it'll fit down. Then I'll get that gasket material, drill and tap these holes, drill and tap there, put that on there, and then I can use, you know, my insert. And one of the things that I was thinking of is like, so that insert, I've got a really long forge, right? And this is a real long ribbon burner. I could make one that is just half, you know? Because this stuff is cheap, and I'm gonna borrow my wife's rolling pin and her silicone rolling mat. Well, no, I stole one of those already, so I'll use that mat, and I'll borrow a roller. Maybe I'll buy her a new one for Christmas because I'm gonna borrow this one, and I'll be able to sit there and get that. And man, that'd be kind of good. I could sit there and get that stuff, roll it out. And I was reading that really good thing to do this stuff on is sheetrock. So I'm going to go to the Home Depot and go get me a couple, 3-4 of those patch sheets, you know, 2x2, and make it on there. And then that way I can stack up sheetrock for the thickness that I need, so it's repeatable. Right, and that's the whole thing. I can make that form out of the sheetrock stuff, put some Vaseline or something on it so this won't stick, or the clay won't stick, and just like roll that stuff in there and get it set and all that kind of stuff, and then, you know, leave it in there so it can dry. And I could have, like, you know, I could make 10 of them, just like a whole row of them at once. And this stuff is cheap, so that's what's coming. Also, I did the Secret Santa on Imager, and I just elected to give. So I'm gonna make them a knife. But this is the first knife I made. But not like this. I got a nice piece of. Well, I could use this, but it's real hard. This is 4142 tool steel. I got a whole bunch of this thick. And then I've also got some stainless like this. But I've got this really nice rod of stuff that dang it, my forge isn't on. So I just might buy some 1095 blanks and make a knife. And maybe a fork and make it like a camping utility and make a little leather sheath for it, you know. So I don't know. Let's draw this out, right? So, you know, get a nice knife. Yeah. Hmm. You know, something like this. You know, round this off, put an eyelet in it, maybe make this out of brass. And I got some nice black walnut I could use. And then take another one of those blanks and then just make a fork, right? Yeah, something like that. You get the idea, right? Put a nice handle on that too. Brass right there, you know, some nice brass rivets in it for stuff, you know. Put some texture. Good cutouts, you know. Maybe, you know, you got to have some finger grooves in that. So, right. Then make them the same size and have this here, and make it to where when you put them together, they fit, you know, and so they're nice and thin. Yeah, so, yeah, let's give that a shot. That's what I'm going to do.